And now the jury goes back, and what are they going to do with a man like that?
It's expensive, kill him.
Right? I mean, it's insulting what he asked for.
It's expensive.
It would be the most expensive room in town.
Yeah, so
At the,
kill him. No.
what would be that? What would be equivalent today if someone were to make that?
It would be expensive. It's
The
all-
Blair House?
Yeah,
Like life
audacious.
imprisonment, that's pretty expensive.
Well, what does he want though?
When he gets a life pension.
He wants a life pension at the best place in town. Would that be the Blair House, or where would that be?
Blair House.
A suite of rooms where? Someplace. I have no idea, by the way. That's how out of it I am. So therefore, he comes back and he says, "Oh, okay. I got it." He says, "Well," he said, "you should wait a while." He said, "You should wait a while. I'll be dead anyhow." He said, "I'm over 70 and you guys don't want to wait." He said, "All right, okay." So after that, he says, "I would like to talk to those people, after the trial, to show you the real meaning of what has happened to me." Because he says, "You know what? It's a wonderful thing." So he goes back to this signal, goes back to this spiritual thing that he's believed in his whole life, and he says, "That spiritual thing never objected to anything I was saying." And he said, often in discussions when I'm about to say something, it'll interrupt what I'm saying and I don't say anything. He said, "But not during this trial." He said, "I was free to say anything I wanted." He said, "So right now," he said, "I know right away," he said, "since this comes from the gods, that everything is fine." I'll tell you really that this has happened to me. It's good. And it's impossible that any of us conceives it aright who thinks it's an evil thing to die. I will tell you, really, this has happened to me as good. And it is impossible that any of us conceives it aright who thinks it's an evil thing to die. He said, "I have great hope to facing death," he says. He says, "You know why?" He said, "Because in the next world," he said, "it may be that I'll be able to go up there and continue cross-examining the gods themselves and all kinds of heroes that have gone before me." And he said, "And therefore we can continue the dialogue in the heavens." This is the way he conducts his trial. Audacious, truthful, flagrantly at odds with the many. So now let me go and pull out a little more now, key quotes of why he thinks it's his duty to be a philosopher. Because he deals then with this question, and this is the spiritual dimension. He says, "Look here, if someone were to ask me, 'Socrates, why do you follow a practice that you now run a risk of the sentence of death? Why do you follow this practice?' What is it called? Philosophy." He said, "Well, I'll tell you why I do that." He said, "I'll tell you why I do that. Now he likens it to a commander who posts a soldier at a particular post. He said, "And I was at Poetidaia." He said, "The commander posted me there. He said, that's where I stood." He said, "But you know what?" He said, "But where God posted me, as I thought and believed, with the duty to be a philosopher, and to test myself and others, there I should fear neither death nor anything else, nor desert my post." Right? He's not going to desert his post. How did he get his post? "Where God posted me, as I thought and believed, with a duty to be a philosopher, to test myself and others." So I said, "You know what? If you ask me to give up philosophy, if you say to me, 'Give up philosophy and you can live your life in Athens,' he says, I'll tell you what I'm going to tell you. I should answer you, 'Many thanks indeed for your kindness, gentlemen. but I will obey the God rather than you. And as long as I have breath in me and remain able to do it, I will never cease being a philosopher and exhorting you and showing what is in me to anyone whom I meet by speaking to him in my usual way. I'll go up to one of them. My excellent friend, you're an Athenian, a citizen of a great city, so famous for wisdom and strength, and take every care to be as well off as possible in money, reputation, and palace. Then are you not ashamed not to take every care and thought for understanding, for truth, and for your soul, so that it may be perfect? He says, that's what I do. I go around. I do that. Why do I do that? Next quote. For this is what God commands me. Make no mistake. And I think there is no greater good for you in the city in any way than my service to God. Now, you know what I do? All I do is go about, try to persuade you, both young and old, not to care for your bodies, your money. But to care for, exceedingly for the soul, to make it as good as possible. I'll tell you, that virtue comes not from money, but from virtue comes both money and all other good things for mankind, both in private and public. He's still making uproar, gentlemen. He's still making uproar, gentlemen. See? He's dealing with God. Again and again? Never. And I'll tell you which God. Now, I like the next quote. See? Skipping a bit, of course. Don't make an uproar, gentlemen. Remain quiet, as I beg you. Hear me without uproars as to what I have to say. For I think it will be to your benefit to hear me. I have something more to say, which will perhaps make you shout. And here it comes. Be sure of this, that if you put me to death, being such as I am, you will not hurt me so much as yourselves. Now, therefore, gentlemen, so far from pleading for my own sake, as one might expect, I plead for your sakes, that you may not offend about God's gift by condemning me. What does he call himself? God's gift. For if you put me to death, you will not easily find such another. I'm really something stuck on the state by the God, though it's rather laughable to say so, for the state is like a big thoroughbred horse, so big that it's a bit slow and heavy, and he wants a gadfly to wake him up. I think that God put me on the state something like that, to wake you up and to persuade you and reproach you, every one of you, as I keep settling on you everywhere all day long. Hey, such another will not easily be found by you, gentlemen. And if you will be persuaded, you'll spare me. Now, look at the way he considers himself. Unless God sends you such another in his care for you, that I'm really given by one by God can easily be seen from this. And he makes a statement about his life.